Like I said, we are going to watch the best designed character in every platform fighter, and then the worst designed character in every platform fighter. Both of them by Macro. Between each of them, I'm going to be making our own list. We're going to watch and talk about his definition, and then I'm going to take that and come up with my own version of this, coming from someone who is much more into the competitive scene. Macro loves platform fighters, but is mainly a hero shooter. He's done Deadlock stuff. He's done Apex, but I know he's still a big fan casually of platform fighters.
Now, obviously, Super Smash Bros. Is going to take a big chunk of this video, and I didn't think it'd be fair to just talk about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Okay, good. I couldn't remember if he split Smash up into Ultimate and Melee and whatever. There's characters that have fundamentally changed, or characters that I think fit the engine of one way better than they fit the engine of the other.
Our first honorable mention is Samus. Samus was the first zoner type.
Do I agree? I mean, yes, first zoner type. Okay, I'll hear him out.
Character ever made, and the charge beam where you hold it and then you can use it later with the little blinking.
Sure, that was a first. You got the charge beam. You only had that, and you had the giant punch from DK were the first moves that you charged and you hit.
Now, obviously, I think this iteration of Samus isn't the best version, but I really liked how Smash 64 had a simplified version of Samus. Our final honorable mention has got to be Ness.
Burn me at the stake, maybe. I was thinking about Ness for my choice for 64. I need to think about this more. It is probably the fact that I'm biased because Ness was my main in 64 as a kid, but Ness felt like he had a whole moveset, where a lot of the other characters were just hit the person that way. The fact that you could do PK Thunder into yourself and it had a secondary function that I had to discover as a child blew my mind.
But no, I do think that the best design character in Smash 64 has got to be Kirby. Kirby is an ingenious design, but the most ingenious design choice that Sakurai came up with Kirby was introducing his suck mechanic.
He might be right. Literally, you sold people on the concept of Smash Bros. By yo, Kirby can have hats from everybody. I don't think it's Kirby. I'm thinking about it more. Kirby's a good choice, but I think Kirby's an HM for me.
The first one has got to be LeBron James.
I was not going to put LeBron for HM. I would have had LeBron as my actual pick.
My final honorable mention is the Powerpuff Girls. You'll see that I have a bit of a soft spot for characters that are multiple characters at the same time.
I mean, I have a soft spot for that too, but this was they had 4 different infinites.
But no, I think that the best designed character in multiverses has got to be Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry is a full-on zoning character with a wide arsenal of projectiles at their disposal.
Yeah, a duo character where your whole thing is to fight your other team, your teammate, and inadvertently hit the other person. Such a good idea.
Our next honorable mention is Peach. They turned this princess into
the first float character. Oh man, Peach would be a great choice. You're gonna say Peach as a joke? Peach doesn't fit her games well outside of floating, but I think Peach is a very well-designed character. Accidentally making a phenomenal float character, because we had such a good chance of Peach, some character having a float and just being awful.
Honorable mention has got to be the Ice Climbers.
I might be too close to Ices because I literally main them. I think Ices are terribly designed in Melee. I think PM Ices are way more interesting. I also wouldn't give it to Ices in PM either, though.
Has got to be Captain Falcon. His moveset, that in my opinion is arguably the most iconic moveset in all of Smash Bros. History, period. The Falcon Punch is one of the most famous moves in gaming history, and it was made up for Smash Bros.
To this day, people that don't know Smash at all know about Knee, they know about Falcon Punch, they know about everything else, even though he is so much worse or more boring in Smash 4 and all. I want to give this to a Spacey or Sheik, but I have a hard time arguing against Falcon for this.
And I do think at this point, Captain Falcon is a Super Smash Bros. Character, more than he is an F-Zero character.
That's also true, because I want to say Sheik, because I think Sheik is just a phenomenally designed fighting game character. Or I want to say Fox or Falco for inventing Spaceys. But I don't know if I can disagree with the Brawler.
I gotta give an honorable mention to Nigel Thornberry. I think even including Nigel Thornberry was kind of wild. but I do think the best designed character from the first Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl is
Reptar?
Cat Dog. And I'm honestly kind of Cat and Dog had 2 different types of moves. And just the fact that he's essentially double-sided is always so weird.
Having the strong side and the weaker side.
So I don't think this game was really that. My first honorable mention has got to be the Angry Beavers. This one just works really well. The movement is really cool. I just don't know Angry Beavers. Swapping between the different beavers is great. I do think that the best designed character in Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl 2 is SpongeBob.
Is he not the same?
To his up special. Every single thing is like basically a meme. Not because he's a meme character, but because SpongeBob is just that iconic.
I was thinking Garfield, but that's just because I really love the idea of having both Fox and Falco in the same character. Okay, my bets for Brawl are either ZSS or Marth. It's got to be ZSS or Marth, right? It's got to be Ice Climbers for Brawl.
A lot of the ones they introduced they really went all in on the WarioWare vibe, and I'm absolutely here for it. I also think the way that they animate his hits is very smart.
I was trying to figure out what was going on here. Fix your green screen. Macro.
But no, my pick for Super Smash Bros. Brawl has got to be Diddy Kong. He's got the banana projectile that you can use for really cool combo games, the jetpack, the hat. He just goes full-on monkey mode, and I'm here for it.
I know that game.
So while I could talk about both Rivals of Aether 1 and 2, eventually every single character from the first game will make it into Rivals of Aether 2.
When I do this, do I separate 1 and 2? Then I would only want to choose the characters that haven't made it in 1. Coden's really the only one that I would like pick from 1 that isn't in 2 already. You feel like there's some decent differences? I think we think there's decent differences because we are so lost in the sauce.
And just is a really fun heavyweight character who is also competitively viable. And all of that is usually pretty difficult to pull off. But in my opinion, the best designed character in all of Rivals of Aether is easily Forsburn.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I think Forsburn's going to be my #1 pick too. No other character in any other platform fighter has done the smoke and dagger thing. No one else has done deception. He's so unique.
In general, Rivals of Aether absolutely cooks when it comes to their original designs. And I'm looking forward to when they finally add new characters to this game. Because right now, all we have is what? Fleet and Loxodon?
And now we got Galvin! Give him a month. That character is going to be so mean. I love that Macro loves Rivals, by the way. The fact that he's like, yeah, I like platform fighters pretty casually, and then is like, Rivals 2 is the best platform fighter is so funny to me.
And a lot of the DLC are pretty solid. Like, you can't get mad about Ryu. He's like literally ported from Street Fighter, and I think that was awesome. Another honorable mention would have to be Pac-Man. Somehow they turned Pac-Man, the guy that just, chomps
Macro,
things,
I can't
into a very fleshed out zoner character. My next honorable mention is Shulk.
And this is where the casual side comes in because I don't agree with any of these. I think that Pac-Man and Shulk are a mess. That's fine, but I see Shulk and I'm just like, oh my god, you're turning. Have you guys seen the Dewan post about like what the fuck is Shulk doing? Went 1 and 2 in Smash. Shulk just changes colors and I have no idea what the fuck is happening. This is what I think about every time I see Shulk. I just saw Coney's post below. That's also great. Mega Man? I was thinking Mega Man for my pick. We'll see.
I think theoretically, at the highest level, Shulk should be the best character in any game he's in. It's just really hard with all the different Monados, No, and my last honorable mention would have to be Villager. But honestly, my pick for the best designed character in Smash for Wii U is easily Mega Man.
No!
When that trailer dropped,
Mega Man was who I was gonna call out. I remember being at a Smash 4 Weekly when I used to help stream that. Somebody who didn't know the game, was walking past because it was at a game store, and they literally were like, oh my god, it looks like he's playing Mega Man. It looks like he's just fighting a boss character in that game, except it's the other fighter. That's amazing. I think about that a lot, because I think Mega Man's design fit the original game so well. Yeah, you do talk about Slab City.
I think the entire cast deserves an honorable mention because the entire cast is just all equally and ridiculously goofy. Seriously, if you played this game, it's just absolutely bonkers. But I do think that the best designed character is the most obvious one. It's Ultra Fish Bungeon.
This isn't an HM for you.
This guy is a buff fish dude.
I think it's a great choice, but I think I might give it to... I'll get there later. I think he's like everyone's #2 choice, though, interestingly enough. Oh, we do have icons. All
Now
right.
we got Icons Combat Arena, and later it becomes Rushdown Revolt.
I liked Icons for what it was, even though I can look back and say that it was very bad and very rushed. But I never liked Rushdown Revolt. I feel
They're
like Raymer
unfortunately
or
deceased.
Galu are my
However,
choices.
both of these games had one really phenomenally designed character, and it was Raymer.
Okay,
This guy was
yeah.
a Cowboy Bebop-inspired platform fighting game character. This guy had the ability to ricochet his weapons off the floors and do some really
And
crazy
off the
combos
bottom
with
of
it.
platforms.
I think anybody that has played these games would pretty much agree that Raymer was always the best character that they ever designed, because it was also the most original character they designed.
I've said before that I think the reason I liked Icons, even though it was objectively not good, is because I played one of the only characters that wasn't just like a direct clone of another character. And Raymer was the other one that wasn't like another character. I played Afi and Galu, who I think were super sick. I don't know if I could call them like best designed though.
My first honorable mention has got to be the last character added, Sora. I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan, and I think they did Sora justice.
Maybe my problem with Sora is that he fights too much like Kingdom Hearts. Sora feels exactly how you want a Kingdom Hearts character to feel, but I don't like how he feels in Smash because of that.
My final honorable mention is Inkling. Inkling is just such a fair character.
Old Inkling to me feels the way that when I was talking about Melee Sheik, of like, this is just a very well-designed character. Nothing too complex. It's just like, here's my hitboxes, here's what I do. Inkling is not fair. You just said Roy is a good choice. What do you mean Inkling's not fair if you're saying that Roy is good? Roy kills you at 60.
But my pick for the best designed character in Smash Ultimate has got to be Terry. Terry Bogard is from a game called King of Fighters, and his entire moveset represents that game very well.
Also, them figuring out how to make Kazuya work in a Smash engine is wild. I agree with that. I think Kazuya is way more interesting, but I would never say is a better designed character. Turns out not being able to sidestep Electric Wind Godfist causes a few issues. Yeah, crazy that I will read EWGF and still read it as Electric Wind Girlfriend. Best designed HMs. I'll do like a couple HMs. Worst designed and worst designed HMs. DMs for dishonorable mentions? True. I'm gonna pull out characters that I'm considering for HMs. That might be crazy. I think Yoshi's a very well-designed character in 64. My heart would also say like Fox and Pikachu, but I want to keep my rule of I can't use the same character from two different games. And if I want to save Fox for later, I think. I don't agree with Macro fully. I think the hats is the copy abilities is what could put Kirby up to best designed. I think the Kirby copy mechanic is like absolutely a huge best designed like focus, but I think the rest of Kirby is not interesting enough. It's multiple jumps and that's about it. I want to give it to Ness. I think Ness is the most complete kit out of any character in 64 and has things like PK Thunder being able to hit yourself blew my mind in middle school. But I do think it's part of the reason that Ness has barely changed from game to game. And PK Flash being missing, that's the move that I care about the least. The only moves they really added to him were moves that I don't care about. I can't have Yoshi and Pikachu. Let's do Yoshi. I'll narrow it down to just one later. Melee! All right, my initial thoughts, one of the two species, Sheik or Falcon. If I do Fox or Falco, it has to be like they are for inventing the species archetype. And I think, ironically, despite Fox being like the bigger one, I think Falco with like pillars and laser shutting you down and everything else, like Shine sending you up, is a more interesting character. Sheik is just a great fundamentally designed platform fighter character with like huge tilts and everything, but I think someone was right that I would rather give it to like Smash 4 or Alt Sheik, because I think Smash 4 or Alt Sheik with Bouncing Fish is just so much more interesting, even though I think Sheik is a great character. So I'm gonna move it down because there's a good chance I use Sheik later. Sheik kind of shuts down the lower half of the tier list. I'm not blaming Sheik for how bad the other characters are. Oh, do I do Falco or Falcon? Falcon's more iconic, and I think this is the best iteration of Falcon. This is the version of Falcon where you got knee for the first time. This is where you got Raptor Boost. This is where you got like a better stomp. I'm giving it to Falcon. Macro's right. Falcon is a character that everyone knows, and I bet if you asked 100 casual players like what game Falcon is from, they wouldn't know what F-Zero is. I'm gonna get rid of Yoshi here as well. We're gonna narrow it down to just one HM per game. Okay, Brawl. Who did Macro give this to again? Oh no, he gave it to Diddy. I think Brawl Marth has a lot going for him. And no, I'm not doing Brawl Cannon. I know some people love Brawl Falco, but I mean Melee Falco. All day, every day. I gotta stay true. I don't think that Brawl Diddy is as good as Brawl Marth. I think Brawl Marth is such a cool design character. And I want to have Marth on here somewhere. You guys are gonna hate me for this. Bayo's such an interesting character design if she was balanced. That's a gigantic if though, so I think this is not gonna last long. I know this is also a hot take. I think Smash 4 Mewtwo is sick. Why? I just don't like characters from this game, apparently. I have to take Bayo out of here. I just can't. The internet can't know. If Bayo was introduced in Smash 4 or in Smash Ultimate as DLC, I think people would still be talking about how cool Bayo is. The same with Palu. I think Palutena is a great character, but because she was introduced in 4, where she was clearly designed to use custom moves, is just why. Oh, wait. Sheik. Smash 4 Greninja? I'm thinking about Smash 4 Greninja. It's weird that Smash 4 has so many HMs and just no real ones. Oh, wait. I think Mega Man is like the best design character. Mega Man feels like you are playing a Mega Man game, but also does work in the engine. As much as I like Mewtwo in that game, no. I think I'm giving it HM to Smash 4 Sheik, because I know already who I want for my number 1 and all. I think Joker's so sick. Joker's the character that I'm like, I wish Joker was in a different game that I enjoyed. Please just say Hero? Absolutely not. Hero is a character. Oh wait, I said that I just like Inkling. Inkling was the way that I wanted, where I wanted to include Melee Sheik. PM. No. I think this is by far the most complete version of Ice Climbers. I'm going to get lambasted if I include this. Do I have ZSS? I do have Brawl ZSS on here. I think ZSS is a great design, even if I don't think they're super well balanced. PM Warrior Shape Degeneration, true. Wow, you all are thinking different characters. I think PM Mewtwo is so cool. You can be more critical with PM? Yeah, I agree. Because it was designed to be a competitive game. I want Snake up there even. I think I want to include Snake, but I don't think I can. I don't think I can. Iconic maybe, but I don't think I can say best designed. Rivals 1. Okay, Rivals 1 I'm going to challenge myself because I want it to be characters that aren't in Rivals 2 already. So, like, I could say that Zetterburn and Claren are great designed characters, but I kind of am viewing characters that haven't returned yet. I think Hodan is interesting. I don't know if I can say Hodan is the best design, but at least it's a character that I think stands out. Ori's well designed, just overtuned. You think Ellie is the coolest Rivals gimmick? I think Palm is sick. Palm's not the best designed. Palm is just Peach and Mewtwo combined. And I'm trying not to give it to characters that are super derivative either, although I did put Ori here, which is what if we make Falcon light and have a second Falcon? Ori is super interesting because Ori is a different take on a duo or puppet character. The fact that Sign follows you and is used also has team up stuff. They made like a Falcon style fast character, but you have to combo into Bash, which is done so. I think Bash by itself is such an interesting move. I think the fact that you can throw Sign and then Bash Sign and has like Ori's movement is amazing. I think Sign taps when the person is in hit stun is such a cool idea. Like there are so many really, really sick things that Ori does. I think Ori's a little overtuned. I think Ori might be too good, but I think Ori has such a cool design. I'm biased. I'm biased. Is Force in Rivals 1 significantly different than his Rivals 2 version? No, it's just that I think Force is the best design character in Rivals. So that's why I don't want to choose the same character. Because Rivals 2, I think if you're looking at best designs that aren't derivative from other characters, this is so unique. Olympia is so overtuned right now that it's hard for me to consider. Do I give it to Aeolus, but in 2? The concept of a heavy character has changed so much, and I think Aeolus is significantly better and more fun to fight in Rivals 2. Hodan is interesting because he's the first charge character in a platform fighter, but I don't know if that's the best designed. I don't know if I can say you invented charge characters for platform fighters is enough to put you over. And I think Orcane is a much better overall designed character. I feel much better about my inclusions currently. Slap City, I don't. Okay. I think Business Casual Man is sick. Fish Bungeon. This is the one that was skateboards, right? I think Fish Bungeon's just been done already. It's just, what if we made Big Heavy Spacey? Pseudo Spacey, I forget what I called him. The fact that you have to build up money and then you have to cash out as a resource is so interesting. Fish Bungeon kind of clears. This is the only character with a super, and it's playing Solitaire. And I lost a bracket match by shooting Solitaire the wrong direction. All right, I don't know Nickelodeon well enough. I think Macro might have been right. I think CatDog might just be the dude. I don't remember what Helga does. Someone said Helga. I just don't remember what she does. And if I don't remember what you do, I think that's a bad sign. Garfield and Naspy 1, right, but I want to do Garfield for Naspy 2. I know that I want to do Garfield for being a combination of the 2 space animals. 2 got Beavers, Jimmy, Rocksteady, Zuko, Reptar. There's so much to choose from. Tell me why Jimmy deserves it for 2, because I don't know anything about Jimmy in 2. You can wobble as one character. Wait, is that good design or bad design then? You can shoot a Nikita, but program it before you shoot. Interesting. All right, I'm down to give it to Jimmy. That's chat's vote then. I still need an HM for both games. I'm gonna give it to Garfield for 2 because I think combining the 2 different space animals is so interesting. Who gets HM in 1? You know what? Basic answer. Basic answer. You made Puff. Like when so many characters are derivative, I don't know what else to do. All right, multiverses. Superman having aerial command grabs that you could kill off was interesting. I think LeBron is still one of the most interesting characters in any platform fighter. I do agree that this character also. The fact that you are fighting yourself and just accidentally harming the other person's great. This is definitely on the tier list of someone who played release multiverses and not further on. I think I give it to Tom and Jerry for the same reason that Macro actually had them up top. All right, worst designed.
Like, sure, some of these characters have not aged really well in terms of their gameplay being kind of mid. Looking at you, Donkey Kong.
I think it might be DK.
And the worst one, unfortunately, is Luigi.
No.
And that's mostly because he's just a carbon copy of Mario.
It's either Luigi or like Donkey Kong.
I really did enjoy some of the characters that came out in this game, but there were some stinkers. Our first honorable mention is Velma.
Velma and Iron Giant are the 2 that come to my head. Iron Giant literally had to be taken out of the game during tournament multiple times because the character didn't work correctly and crashed the game, and both had infinites and could be infinited. And then Velma just was a support character that got gutted super hard and then became like, doesn't work.
Velma really isn't a fighter, so they made like her talking bubbles attack and whatnot.
And I thought that part was really cool.
Frustrating and stupid mechanic they added was like the cop car thing.
Well, but then they made it so the cop car didn't work at all. It went from this is way too broken to the cop car didn't do anything. Also, she worked with the cops, so that sucks.
Worst design character is actually a character that I really liked, which is the Iron Giant.
Macro, we're seeing eye to eye here. I might have disagreed from the competitive perspective for all the best design characters. Ooh, I think we're on the same page for worst. It's either this or Powderpuff Girls because they just had full infinites all the time.
And on top of that, from a lore perspective, the Iron Giant is supposed to be a pacifist character.
Why did the Iron Giant fight? He's right, was supposed to be a passive character. Warner Brothers did this game so dirty, yes.
The first honorable mention for Melee has got to be Bowser.
I was thinking Bowser, because Bowser just doesn't function. I love Ice Climbers, but Nana's missing half of her moves. Ganon or Roy, there's a few characters this could be here.
The next honorable mention is the other clone characters in this game. Dr. Mario, Young Link, Pichu, Roy. Like, I don't want
Only
every single
2 of
worst
those.
character to just be clone
Doc
characters.
and Young Link
so from
cook.
here on out, and no other character in this series got shafted harder
Ganon?
because of this clone mechanic than my pick for the worst design character in Melee, which is Ganondorf.
The fact that they showed, like, here's the Ganon, like, slipping and sliding around, and it's still slower than just normal Falcon gameplay.
If you paid attention to my previous video about
I don't
the best
know.
design characters,
Ask me
I
well
mentioned
enough
how
for
much
this.
I hated the design and butchering of Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh,
yeah,
Aang
it's
and Korra
I
were
just think they
bad.
did not understand.
Interesting that we have a different idea of what makes a good character, but that the casual and competitive side both coalesce around, like, but we do know what makes a bad character.
But I really do think the worst design character is also another character from Avatar:
Oh,
The Last
who?
Airbender, and it's
Who?
Iroh. In Avatar: The Last Airbender, Iroh, when he fights, like, he doesn't fight that often, but
I don't know
when
what
he
Iroh does in
all
this game.
aura, just like, damn. My first honorable mention is gonna be Snake. That's not Solid Snake, man.
Snake also doesn't work correctly. Like, do you know why Snake's up tilt is so good in Brawl? He was taller than all the other characters, and eventually they brought him down and then didn't fix his hitboxes. So his up tilt hits like literally a full character above it. As someone who did not play his games, I love his design. I like his PM design so much more than his Brawl design.
And my final honorable mention has to go to Sonic.
Sonic is so bad. The fact that I play competitively and I still can't tell the difference between all of his spin moves. I've taught casual people recently and like other Smash games. None of them understand what Sonic is doing. He's just spinning and they're like, this is a different spin. Yeah, his up smash neutral air, side B, neutral B, down B. That's 5 different moves that are just him getting into a ball and spinning. And down smash, you're right. I was thinking PM down smash. That's 6 moves that are just spinning.
The worst design character in Brawl is Meta Knight. Meta Knight is absolutely ridiculous.
I have a very hot take here. I don't think Meta Knight's the worst design character in Brawl. I think he's super overpowered, but I think that is a power and balance issue, not a design issue. Does that make sense?
Tier 0 character. A
Why is
character that people were ever...
Macro, why is this the P? This is the P plus state character select.
It's a true sequel to this game, and every single character that I'm going to be talking about exists in Rivals of Aether 2 at this point. And gameplay-wise, hasn't really changed too much since the first game.
Man, I could see it going to Raster. In a weird way, you've combined Meta Knight and Marth and Puff. Maybe Rano, just because he's so simple? He's just cheek, and that's very derivative. If they're derivative, I need them to have a really cool elemental synergy or something like that.
Is Raster. I just don't like that he's not wearing pants. All the other characters have some type of clothing in his Raster. So narrowing it down was actually pretty difficult.
I wasn't ready. Honestly, Macro, great point. I was thinking just gameplay, great point. Give Raster parachute pants. Make him slower. Make that a pay-to-lose skin.
Oh, it's hard for me to say it because I like him a lot. It's Zetterburn. It's just because we all know that he's a carbon copy of Wolf from Project M.
Yeah,
he's just as spacey.
To be fair, I have Project M Wolf in my HM for best designs. So like, if you're gonna steal from the best. You know what I mean? You might be biased is what I'm hearing. No, I get why Zetter is here. I was thinking Rano for almost the exact same reason of Rano is just cheek.
He's always kind of been a little bit of a copy, but we still love him and we love all the Rivals of Aether characters, okay?
I have not pre-watched this one. I'd watched the best designed ones.
Smash Bros. For Wii U and also the 3DS, don't forget about that. Brought
I
a
will,
ton of my
I will indeed be forgetting about the 3DS. I'm so sorry. HM, I'm still thinking that Little Mac might be my pick. I think Little Mac might be my pick. That is strictly a terrible design character for a platform fighter. You are just incentivizing to camp a character, and that's it.
It's kind of like a reverse Meta Knight, because the idea is a character with no vertical mobility, but in exchange has a ton of power. But it's a platform fighting game, so having no vertical mobility is unsurprisingly extremely detrimental to the game plan. But just like Meta Knight in Brawl, the pick for the worst design character in Smash for Wii U.
He's gonna say Bayonetta, and I don't agree. Bayonetta, again, is a balance problem. I think she fits her games that she's from so well that I don't think I can give it to Bayo. Because like if Ult Bayo came out instead of Smash 4 Bayo, I think people would have been like, yeah, this character's dope. This character's so cool, and that's it.
And 3DS has got to be Bayonetta. And the worst part about Bayonetta is the first character on our list to be DLC.
Did Bayo like take over casual gameplay for Smash for Wii U? She was super good casually. Okay. I don't know a thing about what casual people thought about Bayo.
Our first honorable mention is Pyra and Mithra. Besides
they're
the
not
fact
the worst
that they can
design
switch
character.
Between their,
they're just
not much
anime
in their
sword
kit
fighter.
that is very unique. Our next honorable mention is Minecraft Steve. Honestly, Steve represents Minecraft perfectly.
I wouldn't give it to Steve because he represents Minecraft perfectly. He's not a poorly designed character. Again, I think poorly designed and poorly balanced are two different things.
But just having good frame data isn't enough for him to be the worst character.
Not Min Min's here. Low-key, Min Min is dope. I wish ARMS actually did well.
Game might be a little too much.
I need them to make legs. Who do I think he's gonna say? Is he gonna say Min Min? I don't think it's Min Min. Although when I learned that Min Min's the arms that she throws out aren't hurt boxes, I thought that was insane.
I actually think that the worst designed character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has got to be Min Min. Let's just talk about the fact that ARMS didn't sell well, so we didn't need an ARMS rep.
I don't care if the game didn't have enough fans. I don't think that matters for my best or worst designed.
Pan has been busy complaining about the fact that Min Min is ruining their game.
I forgot that Min Min has a counter. Min Min has a reflector on her, is it up tilt or up smash? Why can she do this?
Now with professional players like Dora Migi having impressive tournament runs, I have a hot take.
Dude, he called out Dora Migi being #1 in the world before that happened.
And I do think that Min Min at its highest level is actually worse than Steve at the highest level. It's really not that fun.
I think that's a super hot take, Macro. That's fine. I get it, though.
Okay, so that is the worst.
All right, everyone, go follow Macro. Macro is great, friend of the channel. Hey, worst design character in 64. I think is either Luigi, DK. I want to see DK because like the moveset isn't cohesive, but honestly, I think DK's fine. I have a really hard time putting a dishonorable mention other than like moving Puff up from most forgettable. Is it better for me to have a most forgettable or better for me to have a dishonorable mention? DK's too iconic of moves. I agree. I was thinking about Giant Punch, Spinning Kong, everything else. All right, worst designed characters. Game & Watch if just Shield was fixed and could L-cancel would be fine. Ganon for sure. I'm just throwing characters here and then deciding. Zelda is a terrible designed character. The fact that Absa is basically Zelda but cool is crazy. I think Icy's get a pass because it's just that Nana doesn't have animations for a bunch of stuff, not that the character itself is poorly designed. Roy, if Roy didn't have Roy's own stuff, would be fine. Man, I love the Zelda games, and the fact that I'm about to say one of these is the worst designed and one of them is the dishonorable mention, I'm gonna give it to Ganon because at least Zelda is an original moveset. Ganon just being bad, slow Falcon is just sad. Brawl Ganon might be one of the worst characters in fighting game history. Brawl Ganon is just Melee Ganon, but even fucking worse. Okay, Pokemon Trainer's weird for me because Pokemon Trainer could be a great design character with swapping for everybody, but also Pokemon Trainer having type matchups against all of the other characters that have fire and water and everything else is so dumb. Oh my god, Sonic. Can I put more than one character in for Brawl? Brawl was such a bad designed game. Okay, my question here is before I was saying if a character was showed up in best designed for one game, I didn't want to include them for another game. So I don't know if I can have Brawl Ganon and Melee Ganon. The fact that you took Melee Ganon, who was just Falcon with no redeeming factors, and then made him even worse. The fact that it's so much worse is genuinely, like, impressive. I don't think you can put Sonic in for Brawl. Sonic, as we counted before, Sonic has 6 different moves that are just all spinning. Casual players, and competitive players even, cannot tell the difference between any of Sonic's moves, and this all started from Brawl. You also think the Get Up and Ledge stacks are spinning with Sonic? All right, you've convinced me. I'm a hater. I think I take out Brawl Ganon because it's the same problems as Melee Ganon, just ramped up by 5, and then I do this. This is because Snake wasn't programmed correctly. He was literally made taller and then shrunk. Do I take Snake out and put in Pokemon Trainer? I might be convinced. A unique thing, but stamina and the type weaknesses are crazy. Even above Sonic? Yeah, no, I got convinced. Smash 4, worst designed. I don't think it's Bayo. I think Bayo might be poorly implemented or poorly balanced, but I don't think Bayo is the worst design. I think Shulk's design is trash. It's so hard to use the Minato. Oh, right. There we go. It's Little Mac. There's no way it's not Little Mac. Incentivizes camping, isn't even that strong on stage. In a platform fighter game, cannot jump to the platforms. Mac is so bad. I think the Shulk is gonna get me in hot water, but I kind of stand by it. I don't think it's Min Min, but a lot of people do. Steve functions exactly like you want a Minecraft character to. It's just that he's broken. Hero does not work unless you are going to read a whole menu. And if you are playing an overseas player, you can't play because you have to both be able to read the same language. Plant, I think Plant also just a dozen moves that don't connect in any sort of way. And the fact that Spargo is able to make it work means that Spargo is clearly the best player on the planet and not that Plant actually functions. Am I going crazy? Is Piranha Plant not on the list? Is Piranha Plant not here? Okay, we've added Piranha Plant. A character so bad that I've manually added him in. Reading the menu is annoying, but like most people aren't in a casual setting, aren't playing against someone from a different country that speaks a different language. So you have to be able to read together. Like when I found out you can't hit Min Min's arms at all, that did kind of sell me on it. I want to put Hero, but I think it's Min Min. Worst designed character in PM. PM Knuckles is designed for 3.02 and then put into P+. That's the problem with PM Knuckles. Who else? I need to think of an HM is really the problem. I know that it's Knuckles. Do I put in an HM? Maybe I put in a little Brawl character. Bowser, they fixed in a cool way. You love PM Zelda. Yeah, no, this is now where it's like, I don't actually hate this character. Like, I don't know if I want to say that PM Olimar is awful just because they had to start with Brawl. This will make more people mad. This is probably a more... Oh, they did have to fix out Tether and everything works like 4 times, and grabs and puppet smashes, and the worst designed character in Rivals. And oop, the fact that the zoning long-range character also can do a 0 to death from across the stage. I think saying worst design character in Rivals is very difficult though. Malo could be cool, but doesn't really function correctly. I want to say Shovel Knight, but Shovel Knight functions according to Shovel Knight's game so well. I just think that it's silly the way that he comes down to punch gloves and pogo stick. I like the Raster doesn't wear pants because he had 3 reworks already. Yeah, I agree. Honestly, until this patch, I would have said Orcane. I'm going to go with Rano. I think Rano is just too derivative of Sheik, and I think that the poison doesn't do as much as Zetter Fire. Oh, but Bubble. Bubble's cool, and slingshots are cool. Zetter doesn't have anything like that. I don't like making these choices. It's so much easier when I'm like, I want to add more characters to dishonorable mentions in Brawl, and I don't want anybody to be here in Rivals. I think that Rano is more boring than Zetter. Ruby? Master Ruby is the Meta Knight style character. I know the characters I like in Slap City, but I don't know the characters that I dislike in Slap City. This is just throwing darts at a dartboard. I might not include a DM, a dishonorable mention for Slap. I might give it to Fralin, just because Fralin is just Princess Remedy, but like a brawler instead of a zoner. Nickelodeon. I don't know this game well enough. This is all from the heart. I hate how they did the avatar characters in this game. They were so bad. You could stall off stage forever with this. Nasby 2, I don't know this game well enough. I'm down to literally just agree with Macro. I'm down. Macro, I'm trusting you. Multiverses. It's Iron Giant. Iron Giant literally broke the game multiple times. Had multiple infinites and could be infinited, and I don't see a single way you can argue that it's not Iron Giant. DM, Shaggy is just the Ultra Instinct meme, and I hate that. Man, I want to give it to Shaggy, but at least that moveset works. Velma's moveset does not work at all. Seeing LeBron in best design with no context is killer. I don't know what his kid is like. He slam dunks a basketball on your ass. He passes off of you. He hits you in the face with the ball, says it's mine still, and then dunks. He's sick.